As you all know, I've been making a Souls-like based in Vancouver, and Swamp City is feeling more and more like a real little town. I've been going around looking at bugs and issues I want to polish and fix, and one of the main ones was going through shop UI and menus. It used to collide with the quick slots, so if you press left or right, it would move your right hand and left hand weapons, or going up and down would move your quick slot item. Now going through a menu doesn't affect that, which is great. Yay. And you might recall, and you don't have a dodge. You got this little skedaddle where you try to save yourself. So now you can buy these pants, or you find an item that will help you change basic maneuvers, so like the dodge. And there you go. You can do the regular dodge if you find the biker pants, for example. Just knowing that you could find shoes that'll help you double jump, or I don't know if I'll do that. Adding like a flashy dodge, that was kind of like my first idea, but I did want to add more secretness or character customization to allow for different character maneuvers. So this dodge is like a pretty simple addition, but you know, you can think about the implications that would have, like being able to change the way that the character moves around. You could have water walking, you could have scaling mountains, going through things. I don't know, I'm just thinking as I go, but there'll be a lot of options, and so we'll see how that comes along. So something I'm really interested about is seeing how I'll be able to incorporate little events within cities, sections of the city or boroughs, like having little mini jousting on skateboards would be like an interesting little competition to be a part of. So as you can see right here, we're having this weird little glitch where it's locking onto an enemy, but the enemy is dead. It knows that, so it cancels out of it. That's something that was fixed in this new update as well. So I don't know if you recall this little gambler guy. This gambler did not act or gamble as intended. He had a simple menu job. You go to chat, open a menu, press gamble, and hit some dice. For whatever reason, it was horrendous. It was so hard to program. Here you can see I'm leveling up, and every time you go to an ATM, it's kind of like your bonfire. It should reset the enemies. That is something that once in a while you'll get this like weird little bug, and I have nothing, nowhere, I don't know what to look at, but you can see she's walking around. She's got a target that's null because the player hasn't interacted with them. She's just thinking that she has a target, and so therefore keeps going somewhere, but it's just 0, 0, 0. And look at this guy, he's dead. He didn't respawn. I don't know, it was a little something I had to add more fail safes in case the state in which he returned to didn't exist and turned null, and so just put them dead. And look at that, a bike! I did want to add a variety. I mean, Vancouver is much more of a cyclist city than skateboarding. I have a preference for skateboarding, but it'd be cool to have a little bike and bike rides and have fun with bikes. Now the gambler works. Look at this. You hit the menu, tell him, let's gamble. You pay him the amount of money to gamble, and the dice get shaken, whatever you say for dice being rolled. I'm still unsure why these dice aren't being swapped to the new ones, but you see them in the UI. There's the correct dice being rolled. You have to figure out who wins or loses, but it gives you a little banner so you know that you've won in this example. And then the reveal of dice. It's always the same one. Again, this one's supposed to be swapped. And it says you rolled a 4, bonus score, so you got some money. Here it didn't showcase, but it works now. I swear it works now. It was a big thing. So I made zones where in Elden Ring you may have noticed that you can't enter a cave with your steed. You can't go into a boss fight sometimes with like your horse. So this is sort of the same thing. For whatever reason, I'm not getting the reaction I want. I've created this little area that you can see in the video right here. The yellow lines indicate a area where you can't skateboard, but you're obviously in here skateboarding. So I don't know. You should not be able to. There's gonna be restricted areas, and I have these little zones that like allow for you to skateboard faster if you're going into a certain direction, like aka downhill, or if you're going uphill, then it would slow you down. So that's in the works, just like the rest of these mountains. It's gonna be Squamish mountains, like I don't know, the Chief or something. So I've had to add a gondola because the gondola is a cool little thing and it makes it more like Squamish. If you can walk up and look at that, the gondola just leaves you. It doesn't care about you. It just keeps going. That's not supposed to happen, and it doesn't happen anymore. And here you can see the Chief, I don't know, I'll call it the Chief, being built a bit more. There's just more rock face. Nope, I lied. Next one. Let's see the progress of this gondola. And so you see the door open, and you hop in, and there's a pressure plate that you hop in, and there's a pressure plate that closes the door. And you didn't do it. So the idea is that there's a pressure plate, and it's a trigger that allows the game to know that the player is within the elevator gondola, and that it should carry on. But I think it was too low in this iteration. Actually, here you can notice that I am adjusting the trigger colliders so that it actually hits the player. Now, something that's happening is that the player is being moved, but it doesn't like that because the network is trying to figure out where the player is, and so it doesn't want to keep the player in place. So here you got this cool little jittery effect, but the gondola is working. I'm gonna make the windows a bit bigger. Right now you can't see out the windows, and the camera is unsure how to react to being moved, the player being moved. Everything is kind of like looking a little janky. I think if the windows are bigger, then you'd be able to see kind of like the landscape, which is what we want from a gondola ride. You'll see the camera eventually kind of like leaves the gondola because it's just not liking its life here. Hit me with your dice roll. The player wins. And you can already see the scores have been added to your total scores at the top left. But you don't know that. You've rolled a player 4, bonus scores. And there you go, 714 when you started with 300 or 400, and then spend 333, and you gain 666 scores. I'm gonna make a video soon explaining all the enemy AIs because I've created quite a few. You've noticed the beer can tosser, the AI punks, this knight, but I have AI citizens. And then quite a few that I'm gonna keep a little secret until I showcase the entirety of the AI collection of enemies. Let me know what you think about the audio. I'm using this new mic to make the quality better. So you probably hear me breathe more, tapping, little sound effects. I'm trying to edit better as well. You'll probably hear more. All the nuances. Look at that. The chief in all its grandeur on the left here. I know my controller was being weird. And we finish with a nice little, I'm gonna add a little landing pad or something to make it that you can walk onto the gondola easier. That little blue ball is actually a path point so that I can decide and indicate where this gondola will be maneuvering around. So if I wanted to go through a certain path, like between some peaks, just going around a little area, then you can do that. It also is having a hard time liking the fact that player is being moved around the network without it being moved by the player. So you can see the feet sinking down. Look at that, the camera's out of the gondola. Look cool if it was always like that, but we'll see. Actually, let me know if you like it, the camera outside the gondola, not looking at the player. Because I could just put the target of the camera on the gondola instead of the player when it is in the gondola. And that would probably solve its issue. And there we go. Thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe, like, comment, share with your grandma and my mom and your mom. And thanks for watching.